So what is it that I'm focusing on? Honestly, if it's a new person, I definitely want them to feel welcome. I want them, there's like no wrong answers. This is something I tell my kids when I'm teaching kids. There's no wrong answers. This is a judgment-free zone. And I feel like that allows them to make mistakes, because you discover some of your best performances, your best game from the mistakes that you make. So when I talk to my female students or maybe a new student, I'm very mental. I make it to where you feel that you can be a part and there's no judgment coming from me. And a lot of people open up because I'm like that. So that's one thing that I specifically work on. So that's why I'm having things like this where I'm trying to get really close with my followers and talk to them and learn, what are they interested in. So hope that helps. So you transition from gi to no gi and you want to know what are some available submissions. Well, honestly, there's only 6 families of submissions, or at least this is what I teach. There's only 6 families of submissions inside of no gi jiu-jitsu. You have, and I'm going from what I seen that was the most effective in ADCC. For those who are brand new, that's basically the Super Bowl for jiu-jitsu. So in ADCC, you have the back family, which is rear naked chokes. You have leg locks. You have arm bars. You have guillotines or headlocks, however you want to call it. Triangle chokes, and then the 6th one is kimuras. And I would argue that if they measured like these submissions that was connected to each other, I know that I'm probably losing some of you guys, but I feel like the kimura would be much higher. It's more of a transitory type of move. So that's why when people say like, oh, the kimuras don't work, I'm just going on a tangent right now. Kimuras don't work. Kimuras do work. It's not just a submission, it's a position. That was just a random tangent. But those 6 pretty much: back, leg locks, arm bars, headlocks, triangle chokes, and kimuras. Those are like the families. There's a grip of stuff you could do. This is what I teach people when they ask me. There's gonna be people that's gonna be like, what about neck cranks? And that's like neckties, and that's like a dark horse. I will go into that later. I would love to make a video on what I call the dark horse of submissions, but just stick with those 6 and figure out your game plan around those, and you'll kind of start learning what you need to do. Because, for example, another tangent, like triangles, if you go look at John Danaher's DVD, he reveals there's like 5 triangles, I believe. And then there's 7 different types of kimuras. There's different positions that you can do arm bars. There's many things that you could do on the back if you can't get rid of naked choke. Then you have, what else am I missing? There's a bunch of different styles of headlocks. So there's a lot of stuff you could do, and it's much more straightforward, in my opinion, than gi. I'm going to go over this one really quickly. I'm going to put this in my overrated series, which is what I'm going to have at the end of my episodes. I think Krav Maga is extremely overrated as well. It's overrated, and I do not think it's effective in a street fight. But I will come back to that later. I'm going to come back to that later, but I just wanted to put that here. So now we're getting into some love questions. Like I said before, I know this is a jiu-jitsu channel, but if people feel like they want to talk about anything because they love my insights, let's go there. Why not? So this person says, I don't know, Smitty, you're kind of too emotional to be giving advice on how to be a man. Honestly, and I think some dudes will understand, when I put my heart into something, when I get very emotional, I'm a very feeling type of person. So honestly, I think being a man is letting someone know exactly how you feel and not really holding it in. But when it gets to the point where they're not listening to you, which is disrespect, that's when you walk away. So am I too emotional to be giving advice on how to be a man? Perhaps, maybe. But I do know for a fact that I have went through enough toxic relationships, and I've went through enough bad rabbit holes to at least come back and tell my experience, even if I was being emotional. So maybe I am too emotional, but I wear it on my sleeves, don't care, and a lot of people seem to like it. I guess I got a bunch of followers for it, so, or maybe it's just my brain, so maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am. For the Q&A, thoughts on international long-distance relationships. I think you're talking about the passport bros. I'm really assuming you're talking about the passport bros. And I, for the most part, I haven't been out the country, and I plan to be out the country. I'm studying Japanese right now. I actually want to go to Japan. Okay, I'm getting on a tangent. I agree with like what they're talking about. I'm experiencing that firsthand. Now, I'm not disgruntled like everyone else is, but I am experiencing that, and I would love to go travel. And then also, I guess maybe just to cover, if maybe you're asking what do I feel about long distance relationship, honestly, it's about communication. The reason why I feel like back then, early internet was much easier to maintain a long distance relationship than it is today, because today there's so much fighting for your attention, and the girl that you could be talking about or talking to, she's already getting attention, validation, and money or time from just social media in general. So I just feel like long distance relationships is very hard to maintain, but it's all on communication. If you guys communicate, you'll be just fine. And I've had a bunch of long distance relationships before, and I will tell you the major problem was always communication. So just in case if you're talking about that. All right, we got another love question. This person is afraid to talk to this girl. She's not an opponent, she's a potential lover. She's still an opponent. There's a reason why they say there's a thin line between love and hate. All is fair in love and war. By any means necessary. Like, any means necessary. But let me get to the point of what you need to know. Take the game from me. Take the game from me. You like her too much. You like her too much. She's not going to respect you. I'm sure she feels like women can feel. I'm talking about myself too. I've done this before too. Women can feel that desperation on you. You get what I'm saying? They can feel that desperation, and they can feel when you're coming on too strong. I would say for you, the fact that you're already liking her more than she likes you, you're wasting your time. It's in women's nature to chase when we don't want them, or when we don't chase them. So my advice for you, if she doesn't know yet that you like her, I would not tell her that you like her. I wouldn't do that quite yet. Just talk to her, get to know her, stop looking at her as a potential lover, because she could be a potential heartbreak. Okay. She's just a girl, she's just a woman. Just go talk to her. That's the best I could tell you. You need to retract your feelings back a little bit, because when you like them more than they like you, it's an uphill battle. So I would say for sure, and there's nothing wrong with having a friend. Listen, I'm not saying put yourself in the friend zone, so don't be going talking to her trying to find out about what guy she's into, don't be that person that's on the phone hearing her talk about other guys. Don't be an emotional dumpster for her. All you gotta do, just talk to her, keep your conversation short, and then just keep leading it until she gives you a hard choosing signal. This is something you need for sure, a hard choosing signal. A soft choosing signal. Okay, first off, I'm going way too deep. Women choose the men first. That's what it is. As the red pill used to say, women give access to sex, men give access to relationships. But if you go past that, for some people that's probably rolling their eyes, just game in general, women choose you first and then you grab them. So a soft choosing signal basically is if she gives you suggestive looks, or she's kind of a soft choosing signal will make you be like, did she Was she? Maybe. A hard choosing signal is basically you're like, oh, she likes me. She told me, or for sure, like you got a 100% sure rate that she likes you. You get what I'm saying? That right there is what you need to wait for. If you just flat out say you like her, it's going to be an uphill battle. So you need to wait till you get a hard choosing signal. And if you don't ever get a hard choosing signal, then I wouldn't push it forward with her. That's the advice I can give for now. This is just for your situation, because the way you're explaining it, you like her too much. And this is going to be a sad, dragging, cold winter for you if she doesn't reciprocate that energy. Trust me, take the game from me. Okay, so you want to get rid of this self-disbelief before competition. You want all of your hard work to work when it matters. My old coach, Marcelo Perdomo, he called the phenomena of guys that did extremely well in practice Academy Lions. You don't want to be an Academy Lion. And I would honestly say, I believe you haven't practiced enough. And watch this. This is going to blow your mind. When I say you haven't practiced enough, I'm not talking about being in the gym. You need to go out and compete more, because even I still get like very nervous before every single anything that I do. I mean, you know, like I play it off really well because that took practice, but I be nervous too. So that nervous bug is going to be around for a while. You have to just mindlessly go to different tournaments and different practices, and that's how you basically solve that puzzle. So don't feel too bad about that. That's normal. Everybody has to go through it, okay? I still go through it, but you have to just get into more competitions. You haven't done enough competitions, and until you do more competitions, you're never, ever gonna get rid of that. And that's my answer for you. And that is it. Now, I am gonna make an overrated series, and I was gonna add to this video my explanation of why I think wrestling is overrated. But right now, this video is getting too long for me, and I'm ready to go lay down. But thank you guys for watching this far. If you have any type of questions that you maybe want to speak on, you can go on my Instagram, Smitty'Wit, and ask me a question. I will grab it and put it in here, or maybe just wherever you're at, just type it there. I'm usually most active on my Instagram though. Like I'm always checking comments and stuff like that, and checking DMs. YouTube kinda, but YouTube is kind of mean. Well, no, YouTube is getting better, but they started off as mean, so I have my YouTube notifications kind of disabled right now. But definitely go on my Instagram, Smitty'Wit, ask some questions, and more than likely you might see your question pop up in this video. So thank you for watching. Peace. All right, that night I went out, did 4,000 jumps with cross rope. If you want to get your cardio up, go to crossrope.com. Trust me, this is my biggest secret on how I've been getting my cardio up. Crossrope.com, type in Smitty'Wit.